Right. 3 with number 3. This is the bottom. This is the top. Okay. And this is the cap.
It's the cap.
Okay.
And then
And
one
this-
final piece is the melt ready part. This one. Okay. That goes there.
Here
Okay. So
with this.
no, not yet. Not yet.
Ah, okay.
So this completes the top piece. Okay. And now we have the top cap, and the cap is this piece with the female threads along with this reducer. Okay. These two are glued together. Okay. Seconds later.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So those are all glued together. These two are glued together.
Okay. These two.
Yeah. And this is kept separate. So I'm going to show you
How
the
to
first
do
one. Okay. And you guys can do the rest of it. So typically, when gluing large diameter PVC pipe, the small diameter pipe, you usually put glue only on the male end. With large diameter pipe, you need to put glue on the male end as well as on the female end, because there's a lot of space there, and sometimes there can be a lot of variations in the manufacturing process, so there may be gaps, and all those gaps have to be filled, and you also have to make sure that the full surface is glued. You know, so what I usually do is, you know what, I'm giving you the small bottle. It's almost full. Okay.
So strong.
It's very thankful. Okay. So what I do actually is I saturate my my dauber. This is officially a dauber. Okay. And then I go over the male end. Make sure you cover the entire surface. And it's somewhat of a thick coating. Okay. Maybe dip a little bit more. Just to make sure it's thick. And it's going to be messy, but if it's messy, it means you've done a good job of filling the entire space. Okay. I'm going to set this down. Now this is the female end. So I'm just going to put a light coat on this one. So very light coat. What this does is it starts dissolving the plastic. The way this glue works is by dissolving the plastic, and then you merge them together, and then the plastic sets again, and this time it's fused. So you want to push in straight all the way to the bottom, and then twist just a little bit, if you can actually. Sometimes it's really tight to do it. Okay.
To the right.
Okay.
Very important.
So now for feedback, to make sure that we did a good job, look on the inside. You'll see a residue of glue, very slight on the bottom edge. Okay, this is good. And we have a residue of glue on top. So this is feedback that glue went everywhere.
Okay.
If it's completely dry, then you did something wrong. Not enough glue. So it should have glue oozing out. If it doesn't, then you didn't put enough glue. Okay.
And what happens if you don't put enough glue?
It may fail. We actually had that happen. Actually, one of the sieves, we had a worker that worked with us. He didn't put enough. Okay. So I mean, it's
going to have air
it's good
leak.
practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we have the other end cap here.
Okay.
This is the cap, and this is the coupler.
Right.
Okay, we're going to play, Fernanda, you're going to play
On the outside?
yes,
Right.
on the outside,
A lot.
a heavy coat, let's say. Fernanda, you're natural.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's
It's
true.
okay. That's why we have this. That's what it's for. And again, if you're not making a mess, then
It's not working.
It's not working.
Ay.
You have to make a mess.
Now I know why we wear gloves.
Exactly.
So is it?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
missing.
Yes,
good.
yeah,
No, I'm
It's fine.
Okay.
See, you're a perfectionist. It's good. It is very good.
So I'm going on the inside.
Do it this way. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, or with 4. Okay.
He's gonna tell me the camera.
Okay.
It's like a cooking show. You know? Next is you stir fry the onions. And
Okay. And I'm gonna go on number 4 with number 4.
right. So put it flat, and
Okay.
then just push all the way down, and then give it a twist.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way to the bottoms out, and then twist it a little bit. So if it doesn't twist, it's okay.
Quedó muy bien.
Okay.
Let me do the wiping.
Right. And again, for you
Okay.
plumbers out there, okay, so this is feedback that you did a good job. There's glue here in the corner. There's glue on the outside, but it's not oozing on the inside, which is good. The outside is messy, which is good. That's what we want.
Okay.
And so now this part goes into that. Okay.
But we need to
So
first-
this part, as you can see, we number as number 3, which was this number 3.
Exactly.
But in the middle, we have to put this
First.
right?
Right. Just put it in. Yeah.
all the
Okay,
way.
like this.
All in. Okay.
Previously sanded a little bit the edges.
Oh yes.
Otherwise,
good point.
the glue will not be
The edges will take all the glue.
exactly.
Right. It's a good point. The edges, when they're cut, you have sharp edges, so they have to be sanded so that it's a rounded edge, and this is very important, especially with large diameter pipe, because as you put them together, the sharp edge will scrape away the glue, and then it's not as effective. So
Okay. So
thanks, Fernando. Reminder.
I'm gonna apply a heavy coat on this one.
Yes.
Look at me, Fernanda. Okay.
How do you know up to
You estimate 2 inches, you know, because this is the depth of it. So most of the time you can eyeball it.
More or less 2
It's an
inches,
American term.
5 centimeters. And even heavy coat.
No, that was like no.
Sí. Creo que ya quedó muy bien. Okay. Yeah. Let's check the quality control.
Looks good. Looks very good. Nice and heavy, and and everything's covered.
Okay. So we're gonna let it dry for a moment.
And then we
Let's see Fernanda with the
with a light coat.
a ver.
It's easier to the inside than the outside. Listo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that
Check the quality control.
looks good.
Then we put this.
And then push all the way down hard, and then twist. It's a very heavy twist.
I'm
Okay. That's good.
A ver. Maybe another squeeze.
Yeah. Maybe a fresh.
Another push.
A fresh towel.
Well, this glue, your first push is going to be it, because a few seconds later it's done. It's held. I mean, it's very quick. That's why, sometimes I would put it on the ground, you know, and then just do the first push with my weight on it. But this is good because I can feel that it bottomed out.
Okay.
You know, so I think we're very good. Okay.
Quítame. I'm going to close the glue because we don't want to let it dry.
Okay. So now this piece on top.
We need to glue it as well.
but not yet. Or
No, see yet.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, we won't do that soon. So this is the tops, right?
Okay. So we're gonna
Here first.
Yes. Heavy, right?
Yes.
Making a mess. A really big mess.
Well, one thing about this glue is it is water soluble,
Okay.
so it actually cleans up with water. Normal PVC glue is actually acetone based,
Mhm.
and it's very harsh. It's very hard to clean up. But just because it is water soluble, you can actually wipe off that with water.
Okay. So you
¿qué le
can.
falta en la orilla?
So lots of pressure all the way down, and then
No quieres poner tu peso encima. En el piso, en el piso, en el piso, en el piso mejor. In the floor, so you can do what?
yeah, put your weight on it. So all the way down those bottoms. Then I'll hold it with twist. Okay. Sometimes they fit very tightly because they come from the manufacturer, with tighter specs. And if that's the case, then it's fine because it means there's no gaps, there's no space between the male and the female piece that might cause leaks.
Okay. It's clear enough.
And so with water, I can actually do more cleaning, and which is again unusual for PVC glue to be water based. So this gives a nice clean.
So we're finished with the glue, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna take a little clean on the inside. Don't you think it?
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. See if it's. Is there any glue in there?
Yes.
A little bit.
Ten aquí está con agua.
Primero le voy a dar con.
Dentro de eso.
De manita más chiquita.
So this is one down, one to go.
This is
for the sieves.
sieve number 1.
Okay. And let's
Okay.
put these
We need to let this dry.
dry, right? For a day. For an entire day.
Okay, I'm going to put it over here.
And there's
Okay. So here we have sieve number 2. Same thing. The plain coupler, the cap, and we have the right. Okay.
And then the top half here,
The male.
and another
There you are.
canal here. Okay. And
And-
we have, yeah. I'll just-
And that one goes.
Perfect.
Okay. All the
Okay.
pieces. as we do.
So let's go. Vamos a empezar a decir qué te parece primero, Fernando. No.
If you want to, maybe
I can use the other one.
do this with
Uh-huh.
on this side. Okay. Let's see. This is still good because this is kind of old. It's still good. It's kind of.
It's just a matter of a little practice, but it's really, really easy and very, very fast.
So probably a little bit thicker. It's
It's easier with the big one.
yes, it is. Yes. So the bigger can has a bigger dauber, which makes your life a little bit easier.
A little bit more? Or is it-
Does it look even? Looks good. Looks really good.
do I need to put like in this?
Maybe just a tiny bit. Yeah.
Ah! I know I can't with the gloves.
Yes, yeah. This is fine. This is clean surface.
On the inside. I was about to do it the other way.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go.
If it doesn't twist, it's fine.
This one is looser. I can feel.
All right.
Ah.
It's good.
Okay. So I have my cap already finished. I'm going to take a little wipe on the inside. Quality control.
Looks good. Looks really good.
Okay. Great. So now I'm going to do the mail.
Mhm.
I number them. As you can see, number 3 with number 3. You don't have to number them, but for me it was much easier since it was the first time. And I don't want to have a mistake or
Nice.
Ed rejecting my quality.
I'll give you a bad grade.
Okay. This one's already done. And then
Okay. Male is finished. The female.
Okay, so the next piece is the surge tank.
And now we're going to do that right here.
Okay.
Ay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
It's ready.
Turning like it says. Okay,
So this one's already
so
done.
first part is done.
You guys feel free to kind of explain what you're doing as you're talking, how it is. Like,
This is Fernandez applying the cement on the top of the sieve number 2.
To
Always apply a heavy coat on the male.
like that. Okay. And then they are going to help me push it down.
So
here, let's do it over here on this side, guys, where we can see.
all the way down until the bottom's out. Okay.
And
There's
twist.
the twist. Okay.
Perfecto.
So it's
And we
done.
got-
Okay,
Yeah, we go good.
this is proof that you have done a good job, right?
Exactly.
Little excess of cement on the joints. And that's it. And it's clean on the inside. Right. Okay.
So we put this aside. ¿Lo vas a limpiar?
A little water, yes.
we can go ahead and wipe this out a little bit also.
Ah, okay.
Pero es que tiene la mano chiquita. You can somebody with little hands, much better.
It helps.
Fernanda, I think you're gonna mess your jacket.
Yeah.
Thought
I
about-
ruined the clothes before because it gets on there and it stays.
We can go shopping.
That's right. Opportunity. It opens up an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Okay.
So the next is the surge tank. It's the same process. The difference is that with the surge tank is basically an empty vessel. So all it is. We have the pipe. We have end caps that are linked together on both ends. There's no threaded parts on the surge tank, but it's basically the same process.
And guys, the surge tank is this middle piece right here. Just so you know, the guys have built the sieves. This is where the zeolite goes in. The zeolite goes in here as well. It's a pressure swing adsorption process. Once the air comes in, it's going to pressurize this, absorb the nitrogen, and then shoot the enriched oxygen into the surge tank. And when that is not pressurizing anymore, this one's under pressure. So they're cycling, and then the air comes out. So we're making the sieves right now and the surge tank. Keep rolling.
So then again, surge tank basically have 2 couplers, 2 reducers, and the piece of pipe. And again, we
already cleaned it.
Cleaned it. We did the edge as well. So we're all set to go. Okay.
So first we glue this with this.
Yeah. The order doesn't matter. Outside first, then inside, or inside first.
Okay.
Does it matter that once we glue the other side, we won't be able to clean inside?
Yes. That's why we clean it. Well, I mean,
The excess of the glue.
Okay. We're keeping them sitting for a day, so the glue will dry and evaporate, and it'll set, and it doesn't matter.
Fernanda, why don't we do this? First, let's do one end, and then we'll do the other one.
I'm just going to glue this.
Okay.
Always start with the mail in first, and then here. I get carried away.
No.
Okay.
So always it's better to do first the outside and let it dry for a little bit.
Well, not really let it dry, but because you're putting a heavier coat on that one, it can sit for a while before curing too much. Okay. You're supposed to put glue and immediately put them together. If it dries too much, then it becomes very hard to put together.
Okay.
Okay. So
I just finished putting a heavy coat on the mail.
Ready?
I'm going to leave your workshop a mess.
Like the light coat and the female.
Okay, so all the way down. This one is not going to bottom out because there's a difference in dimensions between the coupler and the reducer.
Okay.
That's fine. That's good.
So here is the first end.
Put your way on. Yeah. All right.
Ay, a lot.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Making this one.
You want to clean it?
Sí. First without.
Yeah. Dries on it's fine. Yeah. Just wipe it a little bit.
First with a bright white and then with a damp.
Once it's
Yeah,
dry,
and,
right?
and actually, for the inside, there's no need to clean with water because just let it dry and it'll cure eventually.
Okay.
Okay, so get ready to glue to the pipe. You can do that.
Okay. Right. Here we go. Okay, up.
Okay.
I think that I'm ready.
So one note I want to explain over here. There's a slight difference between these couplers. As you can see, this coupler is taller than this one is. This is still labeled Schedule 40. That's the important part. Okay. This does have more space. We use the small couplers on the surge tank. The surge tank pressure is much lower than this sieve pressure. So we use the long ones on the sieve.
I'm gonna put this against the floor.
Okay.
I think it's good. I think it's,
Okay, clean this one. Okay. Okay, we apply.
almost completed. So.
And I'm gonna apply on the inside. Okay. I'm gonna help you with this.
Teamwork.
Yes. You should save the big one
Yeah,
for the little.
that's right. It helps. This way, everything there's no more fumes on the inside.
You know,
Sí, 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 no, así. Okay. So, next step. Okay, yeah.
So, whatever fumes are gonna leave, the surge tank, because it has air inside, whatever fumes are still left inside will leave. So tomorrow, before we assemble everything, we're gonna blow air inside of it. Make sure that whatever fumes are still inside are trapped inside, leave
Okay.
before we actually assemble it.
Ed, so in this chart that you made, I see that you have this 5 squares.
Right,
They represent the short tank,
right.
which we have already done,
Okay, it's complete.
and zip tank A, B.
Right.
Okay. So these parts are already finished. The compressor,
And then you put it on top. Okay. We have these input mufflers. And the mufflers basically have a filter inside. Typically, whenever you're doing PVC to PVC threaded, you don't use to apply physical pressure. I prefer to use the thread paste. The paste actually fills in the gaps and seals. It doesn't set completely, but it doesn't set completely. So it can still be removed. And the paste that we're using is actually, where is it?
that's base.
Yeah. You have 2 ports. Both of these ports are linked together through a tube. We're putting in a fitting to connect to our copper pipe. So the first thing that comes out of the compressor is a copper pipe. Compressed air is hot, So the copper pot will actually cool it before it goes into the register. It's always hot. White is always neutral. Green is always ground. And then the two-ring start capacitor. This is the capacitor. What it does is it slightly in the right direction. Otherwise, it might spin power in and ground. Okay.
So after this other part, which is the compressor, and then I can see that from the compressor, the next is the piece after the compression is the coil,
Right.
the copper coil, right?
Copper coil.
Now
Right.
this copper coil you have already pre-assembled or pre-bended
Yes,
because it is applied like
PVC, and we use it as the form to bend this pipe around it.
Okay.
I can show it to you actually.
But basically, more than what I wanted to know is from
Stand.
Let's try as much as
Yeah.
possible to stay in the frame
Yeah.
over here.
So we're going to shape this so that it's pointing towards this direction.
Okay.
This is fit inside of here. Okay.
and then
Interface on Uno version 3, and then we have on top of it. This is it's a 4 relay shield. Okay, the term shield is basically being given to parts that directly plug into to wire separately. It's easy, it's simple, and it saves a lot of time because you don't have to wire anything basically or solder it. Arduino and the relay board. And
so the power support is just this, or do you,
the power supply. I'm going to show the power supply.
Is it?
Yes. We're using a Arduino to power the 3 valves. And so it's going to keep the voltage steady during the process of switching back and forth between the valves. So it's very simple. We have the input AC, 100 to 250 AC, 50 or 60 hertz, and then output 12 volt DC. That's all we have. And so from the output, we're gonna split into the relay. Well, this hasn't been wired yet. Another part of the Arduino is Arduino user interface on the PC, and then you plug in the Arduino board through a USB cable, which is provided with the board itself. And
so okay. So the computer support is already basically this.
right, exactly.
And what about the control?
It's right here. Okay. This model are all in one place. So you have the input pressure adjustment, and then the 2 gauges. Each of these, the pressure swing inside of each sieve. And it's a good thing to use when you're putting it together. If you're troubleshooting something, we have a template set up for the. Okay, so this is for the.
Yes, this is the one we
Yeah,
did.
yes.
I
So,
can't get
We have a template with all the dimensions, the spacing of all the holes, the size of the holes. Yes.
You
This
can
is
download
a
these.
template, so that it'll be easy to set up. This makes it control board. Okay.
Okay. Next.
And then 2 in the bottom at the input of the sieves, 1 at the top at the exit of the sieves. The 2 bottom valves are 2-port, a 2-way direct acting valve. Okay, so this is the valve at the bottom. These 2 valves over here.
And then
Solenoid to the right. Okay, this goes to the sieve. This is the center valve, and then the left side valve sieve. So goes to this part. So this is how this valve functions on the inside. In normal conditions, it's linked this way. I believe input. So at rest, it's actually purging. Open at rest, and top valve The top valve is a direct acting valve. Now this valve works differently than these valves. And this piston is moved back and forth using the air pressure coming into the valve. So the solenoid opens up a little opening, and it allows the air pressure coming in from the so it has a sliding mechanism inside. It's a little more complicated. This valve, all it has is a solenoid and a little pin that pulls up and down. That's all it is. It's not air operated valve. So and this is important because the positioning of this valve, it has to be a direct acting valve. If you put a pneumatic solenoid valve here, it'll be a problem because the air pressure is not always from the same direction, and air pressure always has to be from one side, from one port. You cannot put pressure from the wrong port.
Okay. So basically, tomorrow when we
Assemble everything.
assemble everything, here you have what is this a representation of the main assemble. Once you have all this assembled,
This one,
Here, right, and again, all the dimensions and all of these short pieces are all the same side. It's a square shape from the outside. All the long pieces are the same size, basically. All the panels are the same width, or here or there. Most of the pieces are interchangeable, and so it should make it easier to assemble.
okay.
So I think we're good. We're good for now. Let's see. Let's pause a little bit, Maher.
Man,
All right.
you want to wrap it up?
All right. So
Today.
I think we're gonna wrap up on tomorrow. Keep going, showing you how we're gonna build this. Thank you for tuning in. Share shortage around the planet. People are basic, and these machines are in very low supply. It's very hard to get them, especially in third world countries. And if you could share, spread this. This is open source. We're showing the world how to build it. You could use localkit.com over here, and the Shield mission is OxiKit's part of the Shield mission. So high flow oxygen concentrator pushes out up to 15 LPM at 97% concentrated O2. We had 16-year-old kids build it out. Federico and Fernanda have flown in from Mexico to learn and build these at their factory. You want to say a few words, wrap-up words here, Mr. Federico?
Thank you. Well, I think
Let's speak up.
we need to do something about it, and that's we are very thankful. I think if we all just take one step forward instead of just waiting for somebody to solve the situation, the things will be much easier to handle in the future. I hope this pandemic ceases as soon as possible, but in the meantime, we're going to take a little step forward. Thank you, man.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I just want to finish by saying about 75% of hospitalized COVID patients will recover air. COVID causes you to lose lung capacity with pneumonia. It coats your alveoli, meaning you don't get the oxygen you need to your blood cells. That's why if you can get a oxygen concentrator, this failure and damage, people are still gonna suffer from it. However, this is a potential. We can have the economies open up some more. COVID patients could be taken care of. Transmission rate will go down. We've got support from a lot of top doctors from around the world. So,
Good day.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure.